She's the one who did the decoration when they were stolen. Very nice young lady. But no, I went there with her. I appreciate it. You got a self-made son. Thank you. Good evening. We will call the Burlington City Council October 1st, 2013 meeting to order. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you here and hopefully you'll return. I'd also like to remind you, if you would, to turn off all electronic devices at this time. Thank you. Pray with me, please. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business. You are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for all of your blessings, for the successful outcomes of our city, for all of our staff members, the citizens of this great city, and this council. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Amen.
Next item on the agenda is a proclamation. This time we recognize Captain Don Soul. So the proclamation we'll read proclaiming October 2013 Fire Prevention Month in the City of Burlington. Whereas the City of Burlington is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all Burlington residents, and whereas cooking is the leading cause of home fires in Burlington, as the Burlington Fire Department has responded to 177 cooking-related fire incidents since 2010, and whereas 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, and whereas unattended equipment was a factor in 1/3 of the reported cooking fires, and whereas children under 5 face a higher risk of non-fire burns associated with cooking than being burned in a cooking fire, and whereas Burlington residents should stay in the kitchen when frying food on the stovetop, keep a 3-foot kid-free zone around cooking areas, and keep anything that can catch fire away from stovetops, and whereas residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire, and whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires in half, and whereas the Burlington Fire Department is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education, and whereas the 2013 Fire Prevention Week theme, Prevent Kitchen Fires, effectively serves to remind us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. Now, therefore, I, Ronnie K. Wall, Mayor of the City of Burlington, do hereby proclaim October 2013 as Fire Prevention Month throughout the City of Burlington, and I urge all the citizens of Burlington to check their kitchens for fire hazards and use safe cooking practices during the Fire Prevention Month 2013 and throughout the year. This, the first day of October 2013. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor Wall, members of the council. At this time, I'd like to ask Captain Dawn Saul. She's our new fire and life safety educator. She's assigned to the Fire Prevention Bureau. She came from shift work into fire prevention, and now she's in this position. So she's going to give you some highlights and some things that we got going on this month.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, and I thank you for supporting the fire department and the proclamation of October being Fire Prevention Month in 2013, especially promoting prevention of fires in kitchens. It's important to all of us because it affects each and every one of us. Each of us either cook in the kitchen or have someone cooking for us in the kitchen. Or if when we're in the kitchen, we have children around us when we're cooking. Possibly we have an elderly mother, dad, or other senior citizen that could be involved in a cooking incident. And we just want to make sure that it's very obvious and very evident to the people of the city of Burlington that kitchen fires is the #1 cause of home fires. And believe it or not, Sunday is the leading day of the week where we have home fires, and it's because of cooking in the kitchen. And that's where the cooking incidences happen. So far, in the city of Burlington this year, we've had 44 fires because of cooking incidences or cooking fires. Most of these were due to unattended cooking. In fact, since the writing of the proclamation that last week that Mr. Mayor has read to you, we've had 2 fires due to the malfunction of cooking equipment. So, as you can see, it's very, very on the tip of our tongues right now as we speak. It's not only important for adults, but it's also important for kids to know what not to do in the kitchen as it relates to safety and prevention of cooking fires. One of the things we did 2 weeks ago at the Carousel Festival, we've already started instructing these children. In our safety house that we've had over 600 kids go through this 2 weeks ago, one of the main setups in that safety house is the kitchen. And we were very, very forceful in making sure these children, especially under the age of 5, to stay away from the stove altogether. Plans throughout October this month is we have over 20 fire prevention programs planned throughout our elementary schools here in the city. That's two programs in each of 10 elementary schools. And basically we're going to study back to basics to make sure we sometimes assume that the children know not to play with matches, stop, drop, and roll, crawl low under the smoke. But we're going to make sure that they know how to get back to basics. And so with that, I appreciate your attentiveness, and again, I appreciate you for supporting the Fire Department and the Fire Prevention Bureau in the efforts to protect the citizens of Burlington.
Thank you, Captain Saul. Chief Smith?
Mayor Wall, thank you. This is something that's very important. The job of the fire department is to save lives and protect property, and this is one of the most important ways that we do that as far as saving people's lives and their property. Is making them aware through public education about things like this. So as you can see, those national statistics that Dawn said, Well, that's national, and it also is the same, it applies the same here in Burlington as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Next item on the agenda is the Code of Ethics. This time we recognize City Clerk, Ms. Ward.
Members of council, it's my responsibility to remind you of your duty to avoid conflicts of interest in matters that are before us. At this time, I ask if there are any potential conflicts concerning tonight's agenda items.
Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes, September 16th, 2013, work session, September 17th, 2013, City Council meeting.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Adoption of the agenda.
Make a motion that we adopt the agenda as written. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda. These items are typically non-controversial. If anyone has any questions about the following items, please let us know. Item 1A, to adopt an ordinance approving the following Traffic Commission recommendations: to approve a stop sign on Alden Street, eastern approach to Texas Avenue, to approve no parking after dusk for both sides of Regent Park Lane from the intersection of Berkeley Road to the entrance of Town and Country Park, to approve a four-way stop sign at the intersection of May Drive and Trail 6. B, to approve amendment to municipal records retention and disposition schedule. C, temporarily close Lexington Avenues from Davis Street to Maple Avenue on October 25th, 2013, from 2 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. for the downtown Halloween spectacular events and parade. D, to temporarily close the following streets on Saturday, November 23rd, 2013, beginning at 8 a.m. for the City of Burlington annual Christmas parade, as spelled out in your agenda. E, to temporarily close the following streets on Friday, December 13th, 2013, for the Holiday Magic at Dickens Christmas downtown event from 12 noon until 10 p.m., spelled out in your agenda as well.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Brings us to new business. City Council will consider approving an amendment to the 2010-11 one-year action plan of the Community Development Program. This time we recognize Shawnery Tillery. Ms. Tillery, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. At your last meeting, you had a public hearing which was held on the 2010-11 amendment to our Community Development Block Grant Program budget. That amendment was to propose $79,214 to go to a generator project at Fairchild Park Community Center, and then $3,000 to relocate towards our relocation fund budget. We are asking for approval of that to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We received no comments from the public with the end of the public comment period on September 30th. Due to the government shutdown that was taking effect today, there will be some delay on that getting approved from the HUD side. We're still able to continue functioning with our current budget through our rehab program and our infrastructure projects, but with this budget amendment, there will be a slight delay in getting that approval done because HUD staff is now being furloughed.
Questions for Ms. Tillery?
$79,200.
$14 for the generator.
Move that we approve the amendment.
Second.
2010-11 one-year action plan.
Got a second from Councilmember Ward. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Ms. Tillery.
You're welcome.
Item number 3, City Council will consider approving change order number 2 for the South Burlington wastewater treatment plant nutrient removal improvements. Extend the contract time for 38 days with a final net reduction of $75,672.72 to the contract price. At this time, recognize Mr. Patterson.
Thank you, Mayor Wall, Council. Council awarded a contract to Heron Construction at its December 7th, 2010 meeting for replacement of the filter facility at the South Plant. That contract amount was $5,708,000. Work started in April of 2011 with an original completion date in October of 12. By change order, we extended the date 49 days to November 23rd of 12. Work proceeded. Very well. Just have a couple slides here. This is a shot of the original filter facility. As you can tell, it was very deteriorated and at its end of useful life and needed replaced. This is a picture of the completed facility. There's 2 stories below that. Very much improved process efficiency and electrical efficiency. The actual completion occurred in May 31st of this year. The contractor extended that beyond the completion date and entered through the contract a penalty phase called liquidated damages, which through the contract we had the ability to charge up to $1,800 a day, but city policy in the past has just been the actual damages that we experienced, in this case with additional engineering fees, which amounted to $45,459.58. There was some additional work encountered during the construction that we negotiated an additional 38 days of time, which if approved, would bring that actual completion or the contract completion date to December 31st of 12, and that amounted to the 5 months extra engineering time that we assessed on liquidated damages. So what we have today before you is a request to approve the final change order, which adjusts the contract amount, adds those 38 days, and assesses liquidated damages. The net amount, or the net reduction to contract price would be $75,672.72. So at this time, we'd ask that you approve the change order number 2.
Questions or comments from Mr. Patterson?
Move we approve the change order.
Second. Got a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Thank you.
That brings us to public comment period. We have 2 that signed up. One is Alex Alfonso, Public Transportation. Welcome, Mr. Alfonso.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. My name is Alex Alfonso. I live on the 800 block of High Street here in Burlington. Yeah, no surprises. Public transportation is what I want to talk about. What is surprising that this is still an issue in this city. Councilman Ward, your consistent question is who's going to ride public transportation when it's before this council? The answer is just about everyone is going to ride public transportation. There isn't any reason that this shouldn't be supported by everyone on this council. Mayor Wall, you're president of the United Way. I believe many of the institutions that you fund through the United Way ask for public transportation every year. I'm surprised it's still an issue with you. Mr. Butler, you're familiar with some of those same organizations, as I believe you're on the board of the United Way. These people ask every year for public transportation. It's been long enough. Mr. Fawcett, you worked at LabCorp for 36 years, and on the city's website it says that you're focused on public transportation. I don't mean to keep picking on you, but Mike Nunn said that corporate sponsorship is available for public transportation if you reach out to some of the corporations here. I know the hospital offered to build the bus stops on their campus to foot the bill, but they never heard from you with specific numbers. I was wondering if you maybe approached your old company to ask if they could fund public transportation. You know, that's something that you can do, being that you were there 36 years and know it so well. And I would imagine that you could have taken public transportation while you were working there. Mr. Huffman, I know you're not so hot on the idea. You know, you don't like it. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be some more oversight, and I'm sure that chair's grown comfortable over the years. But I would admonish you to step up on this one. This is big. It can save a lot of people a lot of money. Like I said, personally, it could have saved me $4,000 to $5,000 the first year that I moved to Alamance County. I've been here 2 years. I saw some numbers that every dollar invested in public transportation, you see a $4 return. You're going to chip in about $200,000, but on a $6 million project, that's a lot of money to get back if those numbers are correct, which I haven't heard any dispute of that. And family, even if they have cars and use public transportation every once in a while, can save up to $9,000 a year. For this budget year, you funded the Burlington Alamance Regional Airport to the tune of $230,000. That's much more than it would cost to instill public transportation here in the city, a fixed-route bus system. The highlight of Mr. Danley's presentation, he's the director of the airport. He showed you some pictures of Hank Williams III, who was one of the patrons of the airport this year. One of the other highlights was that Elon students sometimes use their parents' corporate jets to get to school. This is after the airport had spent, I thought, upwards of $3 million in federal grants to expand the runway, so for corporate users to use. That you can spend money on that you can justify spending $200,000 on that institution, one that I believe Mayor Wall, it can fund itself every year. It has an operating budget. These were for infrastructure enhancements is from what I saw. You call public transportation a loser because you have to fund it every year. But it's providing a sense of independence and self-reliance to a lot of groups here, that you can justify spending $230,000 on the airport, more than it would cost to instill public transportation, and not spend it so people in East Burlington can find jobs in West Burlington, so people like me can get to work and save money, so teachers and tutors from Elon University can go out to like Grove Park Elementary School to teach kids math and English skills, Hillcrest Elementary School, and the Burlington Housing Authority. Gentlemen, that's just shameful. Shame on you. This needs to be done now. There's no reason you can't have an agenda item on the next meeting to discuss the vehicle registration tax or even approve public transportation to get the wheels moving. At the last work session, I saw you try to pass the buck on to Mebane and Gibsonville and Graham. The mayors were here. The planning manager from Mebane was here.
30 seconds.
Thank you, sir. The mayor of Gibsonville held up his checkbook. The mayor of Graham also showed solidarity. The planning director, the city planning director for Mebane specifically told me he's waiting for you guys to get off the porch and do something about this so they can follow your lead. I'd admonish you to take that lead. Exhibit some of the leadership skills that you tout during election time to get this done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alfonso. Next on the list, Kim Crawford. Welcome, Ms. Crawford.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, City Councilman. I do have one proposal. I promise I'll email the rest of you because it looks good. I just wanted to come because I wanted to first and foremost thank you. I think that at this particular moment for me as the executive director of Allied Churches, I'm really proud to be a member of this community. I'm here speaking on behalf of the mission of feeding the hungry. As we all know, about a month ago now, one of the largest food pantries in Burlington abruptly closed. The United Way of Alamance County stepped up, I think, took a fine step in leadership for our community, and with 36 hours after we were notified that Loaves and Fishes was closing, we had government officials, we had human service organizations, we had business all in one room to look at and try and figure out what to do. I know that I stood up in that meeting with our board chair and said, yes, we will do something. Allied Church's mission has always been to house the homeless and feed the hungry. I sat back down and William said, and what exactly are we going to do? And I said, I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. I'm happy to report that in 3 weeks we have been operating a food pantry and we have been offering a second meal. Since September 9th, Allied Churches has stepped up to be one of the community leaders in meeting this need for our hungry in Alamance County. What that means, though, is that we have served about 415 individuals, equating to almost 1,000 total individuals that have come to Allied Churches in need of food. With the second meal, we have fed, with the 2 meals that we now serve Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 1, and 6:30 to 7:30, almost 5,200 people. Allied Churches has been in this community since 1982, housing the homeless and feeding the hungry, and with the support of this community, we will continue to do that. And I just think that it's important for you to know that Allied Churches is in this community interested in continuing to be a food pantry, and that the city of Burlington can always count on Allied Churches. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Crawford. That brings us to city council comments. Burlington Animal Services Rabies Clinic this Saturday, October 5th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Cost is $5 at the Pet Adoption Center at 221 Stone Quarry Road, Hall River. Our next city council meeting is October 15th at 7 o'clock. Also, congratulations to Councilmember Jim Butler for his company, Modern Toyota. They were awarded the 20th fastest growing business in the Triad by Triad Business Journal. So the Journal awarded the top 50, so congratulations, Mr. Butler. Any other comments? Not, entertain a motion to adjourn.